Hey, welcome. So today we're going to talk about an animal that we all feel like we know, the great white shark. It's this creature of legend, right? But the truth is so much more complicated and honestly, way more fascinating than any movie. So let's dive right in. For decades, this is the picture we've had. I mean, thanks to blockbuster movies, the great white has been burned into our brains as this lonely, mindless killing machine. You know, the ultimate bad guy of the deep. Just seeing that dorsal fin is enough to give you chills.
But what if I told you that entire image is almost completely wrong? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of that myth. We're going to look at what the science actually says, and it paints a picture of a creature that isn't a monster at all. Nope, it's a masterpiece of evolution.
Okay, so let's start with what makes this animal such an amazing predator. And we're not just talking about brute force here. We are talking about a whole suite of super advanced biological tools that have been perfected over millions and millions of years. First off, a great white has zero bones. None. Its entire skeleton is made of cartilage, the same bendy stuff that's in your ears and nose. This makes the shark way lighter than an animal with a bony skeleton, which gives it this incredible agility and speed in the water. And this is its superpower. You see those little pores on its snout? They're called the ampullae of Lorenzini. They're filled with this special gel that can detect the tiny electrical fields that all living things give off, just from their muscles moving. This means that even if a fish is hiding under the sand, the shark can literally sense its heartbeat. It is a true sixth sense for hunting. And of course, we have to talk about the teeth. But it's not just about them being sharp, it's the brilliant system behind them. Great whites have multiple rows, kind of like a conveyor belt. So when a front tooth breaks or falls out, which happens all the time, a new one from the row just behind it rotates forward to take its place. They can go through thousands of teeth in their lifetime, which means their bite is always, always perfect. And to top it all off, their sense of smell is just mind-blowing. They can pick up the scent of prey, like a colony of seals, from up to 3 kilometers away. That's almost 2 miles. It's this incredible combination of senses and physical tools that makes them such incredible hunters. So, with all this amazing hunting gear, what are they actually eating? The movies would have you believe it's, well, us. But the scientific reality is so much more specific. And you know what? It's pretty surprising. And this right here shows you the truth. A super detailed study looked at shark stomach contents off the Australian coast, and what they found was that their diet is overwhelmingly fish. I mean, look at this. 62% is midwater fish, and another 30% is fish that live down near the seabed. Seals and other mammals, yeah, they're on the menu, but they're not the main course, not by a long shot. Having such a varied diet means they're not just a one-trick pony. That famous surface attack where they shoot up from below and launch themselves out of the water to catch a seal, that's just one move in their playbook. They actually spend a ton of time way down deep, hunting along the seafloor for fish and rays. And that requires a whole different set of skills. It proves they're smart, adaptable, and strategic.
Now, if you thought their hunting was impressive, wait until you hear about their travel habits. These guys are not just hanging out by the coast. They are true global marathon swimmers.
Let me tell you the incredible story of one female shark, who scientists nicknamed Nicole. Back in 2003, they tagged her in South Africa. Just 99 days later, her tag pinged off the coast of Australia. And if that wasn't mind-boggling enough, just 9 months after she first left, she was spotted all the way back in South Africa. In total, she swam 20,000 kilometers. That is one of the fastest and longest round-trip migrations ever recorded for any animal in the sea. It just shows us that these sharks aren't just wandering around. They are navigating with purpose across entire oceans. And this brings us to what might be the biggest myth of all, this idea of the great white as a lone antisocial killer. Well, new research is completely tearing that idea apart and rewriting everything we thought we knew about their social lives. So get this. Scientists are now confirming that great whites actually form what look a lot like social bonds. A study off the coast of Mexico found that certain sharks would consistently hang out together, patrolling and even hunting as partners. These weren't just random run-ins, these were deliberate friendships. In fact, we now know they have these surprisingly complex social structures. They form groups, often hanging out with sharks of the same sex. The males even set up dominance hierarchies, a pecking order. So why do they do it? Well, the thinking is that socializing helps them learn from each other, share info about where the food is, and basically increase their chances of a successful hunt. The lone monster is actually a social strategist. So after everything we've just seen, the sophisticated biology, the strategic hunting, the epic journeys, the complex social bonds, it's really time we reevaluate the great white's place in our world. I mean, when you think about it, attacks on humans are incredibly rare and usually just a case of mistaken identity. Meanwhile, humans are threatening their populations through overfishing and destroying their habitats. It really makes you think, doesn't it? At the end of the day, the great white shark is an apex predator, and that is a vital job. By keeping populations of seals and big fish in check, they maintain the health and balance of the entire ocean ecosystem. They are powerful, ancient, and absolutely essential to our blue planet. They're not a villain, they're a guardian.